Coach, what's going on? It's Coach Ian Tatum here again with another Tatum Clinic series. And today I'm here with Coach Fred. He's out at Fresno City College out in California. Coach is going to talk about how to defend trips, different coverages, and DB play. Coach, appreciate you coming on and talking a little bit of defense with us.
Hey, appreciate you having me, Coach. It's a great opportunity for me to come out here, talk a little bit ball with you and everybody else, and kind of just brainstorm, and share some ideas and some different ways we could approach different things. So I'm glad to be on here.
Yeah, man. So let's go ahead and let's get it going. How do you want to start? You want to get on the board first, pull up huddle first? How do you want to do this?
So what I'll do is I'll get on the board first, explain, how to line up, basically our rules, our checks within our system, and then I'll follow it up with a few clips of how it looks like on the field in the game, so you can get a visual of it, and then we could just go from there.
Awesome. Let's get it.
All right, let's do it. So first of all, what we do at Fresno City College, we're a big check system, and so we always double call all of our coverages here. So we're going to talk about 10 personnel in a trips formation, how to defend a 10P out of a 3x1, and we'll just say we'll go near, okay? We'll put the towel back away. So one of the ways that we defend trips here is we kind of double call it. So if they come out in 2x2, we have our base call for 2x2. For us, it'll be like under black, what we'll call under black, or we'll call Okie 1. And that's Okie 1 does not mean the coverage that we're going to play. It just means it's the base call that we're going to start with. And so for us, right now, our base call will be called Okie 1. Okie obviously is what we're going to be up front. Okay, well, how are we going to line up front right here? The 1 just signifies that we're in a check mode. So if they come out in 2x2, we can either play a cloud, we could play a match concept, we could play a read 2. A lot of that's going to be determined on the splits of the wide receivers, okay? And so if they come out in a 3x1 formation, which this is right here, we have our 3x1 check. Now, one of our 3x1 checks that I really like a lot, works really good for us no matter who we play, is what we call push coverage, okay? Push coverage. And so what that is, that's 2 different coverages to the front and the back side. Okay, Coach? So for us, push coverage could be either a cover 2 or a cover 4 mod. Okay, so we play a lot of mod coverage over here. So if number 1 and 2 are tight or inside the numbers, we're probably going to check what we call Clyde. Clyde for us is cover 2 concepts. Okay, basic cover 2 to the trip side. Now if we have our number 1, detached number 1 receiver that's on top of the numbers, on the numbers, or slightly outside the numbers, we're going to call what we call push Rambo. Okay, push Rambo. Rambo, Coach, it is a mod cover 4. And for those of you who don't know what mod cover 4 is, it's man on everything outside and deep. Everything outside and deep. So the corners will be playing man concept on almost every single route other than a mesh route, a shallow crosser, or a slant. Okay, those are the routes that we won't take in there. Okay, so how we lined up to this is we play 8x1 inside leverage of number 1 in the corner. Okay, we run a lot of nickel here, so we're a big nickel team. We're a 4-2-5 base nickel team. And so our nickel will kind of be inside leverage of number 2 at about 5 to 6 yards. Okay, that's where our nickel is going to be at, if you can see that right here. Nickel corner. Then our play side safety, our free safety, is going to be about 12 yards in depth inside leverage of number 3. Okay, so we have our corners, our nickel, and our safety to the front side of the coverage. Okay, we also have a mic. Our mic's going to be in a 55 technique, meaning he's 5 yards deep in a 5 technique. So that's what we call a 55 technique. 5 yards deep, lined up right on the outside or head up on the end. What we call in a 5 technique. Our will be the same, okay, except he'll be in a 53 technique. Okay. Our backside safety is going to be at 12 yards in depth, Coach, with our backside corner press man. Okay, press man. Okay, so this is kind of how it looks on the whiteboard. We got three detached receivers, regular 10 personnel. There is no detached tight end, so it's not 11P. Strictly 10P. shotgun far. Okay, so now our rules. We'll start from the backside of the formation and we'll work to the play side. So backside here, we are telling the corner, you are manned up. Okay, you're gonna take something away. What we want him to take away is we want him to take away the inside route. So he's gonna be inside leverage. We want to encourage the deep ball. We want that fade ball. Okay, the fade ball is the ball that we want. Okay, it's in the boundary. The way we teach the press technique, we do what we call PSC, pinch, squeeze, cut off. So we're going to pinch, squeeze them to the sideline. We're going to shrink that real estate. We're going to make the quarterback have to throw an absolutely perfect ball. We tell our corners if that ball's on top of the receiver's helmet or on his inside shoulder, that should be a pick. Okay, that ball has to be in the outside shoulder or in his hands. If it's not in his hands, then it's probably going to be out of bounds, which we're okay with that as well. So we call it PSC. PSC is called pinch, squeeze, cut off. Okay, pinch, squeeze, cut him off. Okay, now our backside safety, coach. Our backside safety is what we call push. That's where we get the name of the coverage called push coverage. And you'll see in some clips right now, our guys making hand signals to signify what coverages we're checking into here. So the push coverage, coach, and if I'm going too fast, tell me to slow down. Our push coverage now is telling our backside safety he has all of 3. He has all of number 3, where the 3 goes vertical. Okay, if 3 goes out to the corner, then we replace him with the new number 3 coming across. For example, if we get 3 to the corner, okay, he is going to start to look for the new guy coming across the field, whether it's number 2 or this number 1. It could be on a dig, okay, or it could be on a skinny post. Whatever that is, whoever 3 becomes, that's who that backside safety is going to push towards, okay? So he has all of number 3 in push coverage, okay? Push coverage, all of number 3, okay? Even if 3 goes away, we will replace him with the new number 3. Does that make sense, Coach?
Yeah, I got you, Coach. It's great. Keep going. You're good.
Okay, sweet. Okay, backside safety pushes number 3. He has quarters footwork, okay? So he'll be slow popping his feet. Eyes on 3, sees 3 push vertical. I got that guy all the way. If 3 goes away, I look and I replace him with the new number 3. Backside safety rules, okay? Very easy. We try not to complicate it as much as we could, as much as we should. Play side safety, okay? Play side safety, he's reading number 2, okay? He's a 2-to-1 reader, okay? 2-to-1 reader, okay? If 2 pushes vertical, play side safety has all of that right there. He got 2 to the vert. 2 to the vert, or whoever 2 becomes. If 2 goes in the 5-yard out, okay, his eyes now go to number 1. What the hell is number 1 doing? Where's number 1 at? I need to work to number 1. That's the play side safety rules, okay? So we have push call to the backside safety. Then we have a Rambo call to the front side. Basically, what Rambo is, Coach, is a quarters coverage concept. It's mod coverage. Okay, that's what we run. Okay, so if we get number 1 pushing vertical and number 2 pushing vertical, play side safety will have 2 vert. Play side corner will have 1 vert. Okay, that's how that would work. Okay, nickel will reroute on number 2. Okay, he'll take number 2. We'll take him to area 2. So we have areas. We have area 1, area 2, and area 3. Basically, area 1 is what we all know as a flat. Area 2 is a curl. Area 3 is a hook. Okay, so he'll be an area 2 guy, while our Mike becomes an area 3 guy. So we have a curl guy. We have an inside hook guy right there. Okay. Okay, our backside will play slant to back. And then we could do some things back there too, which we'll also get into a little bit more another way how we play trips, which is a great way to complement this right here. So Will is a slant to back guy, backs on the side and back shows. He'll work through the slant and take to the back, okay? Nichols an area 2 guy. He's a curl guy, so he'll get under 2, whoever number 2 comes, and try to widen that route out, okay? Mike, play side Mike, who's in the 55 technique. He's an area 3 guy, meaning we want him to get inside underneath the drag, okay? Underneath the drag. We don't want him to carry the vertical, but we want him to wall the vertical off, okay? Wall it off, okay? Now, play side corner. He's in a Rambo technique. Off man, outside foot is up. He's keen 2-1. We want to see where does 2 take him and where does 1 end up at. Okay, so for example, if 1 goes inside right now, okay, 1 goes inside right now, my eyes now goes to 2. Where is 2 at? Okay, now if 2 goes on the vertical, we know that the play side safety would take care of that vertical. So now what the corner now becomes is he becomes a robber. So now he'll zone off and he'll look for anything coming across the backside. It could be a corner route. It could be a backside dig. It could be any route that comes from the backside. Now he now zones off and he becomes what we call a robber. So he becomes robber coverage. Okay, remember, we're not taking 1 inside. We're not going to take 1 inside. We're going to push him off to the nickel, to the Mike, and to the wheel. Okay, we're going to zone off and we're going to get more guys in the coverage. So now we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4 guys in coverage, right, to their 2 possible routes. So we're 4 over 2 in that scenario, which is exactly where we want to be in. Okay, so we get 1 to the inside, corner zones off, eyes go to the backside. I'm looking for something coming at me. Okay, if I have no work, then I can work underneath this seam route. Want to work underneath the seam route because we have a guy over the top of it, which is your play side safety. Okay, that's pretty much push coverage right there. Any other scenario that may come about, we just stick to our rules. For example, if 1 does anything other than go inside right now, meaning a 5-yard out, a 10-yard out, a vertical, or a post, the corner would take all of that. Would take it all. Okay. The only thing the corner won't take in Rambo coverage is if that number 1 receiver runs a slant, a mesh, a drag, any inside route that's 10 yards or under, that corner is not responsible for that. He'll squeeze it and then he'll zone it off. Okay. That's that push coverage versus 3-by-1. Okay. Now we'll go into huddle, right, and then I'll show you a few examples of our push coverage right here. So, okay, right now, guys, there we go. All right, perfect. So here we go. This is against San Francisco right here. Right now, they're in a 3-by-1, 10 personnel in a far look. So they're in a shotgun far look, okay? So really they have 4 strong right here. They have an extra receiver with that running back, which for us, we don't mind that at all, guys. And the reason why we don't mind that is because, remember, like we said, we'll have 4 defenders over there. So we're 4 for 4 right now. If that back stays in pass pros, we're 4 over 3 right now, and that's a great position that we want to be in. So right now, as you can see, we have our play side corner playing off inside leverage at 8-by-1. Okay, our nickels right there splitting the number 2 and 3 with his eyes on 3-2. Our play side safeties inside leverage of he should be inside leverage at number 3 or number 2. I'm sorry, number 2. And he's also read number 2. Okay, now you'll see our backside safety. So if you see our backside safety right there, he's already peeking at 3 right now. So he knows he has all of number 3 if 3 were pushed vertical, okay? Our backside corner is playing off man. He's probably going to play catch technique right here, depending on the down of the distance. And if he gets any vertical push, he's going to put 2 hands on him and what we call PSC, pinch, squeeze, cut him off. So we'll let this clip go. So here it is right here. So we got 2 to the out. So we got really we have a Y stick concept, meaning 3 is going to the out, 2 is going to the out with 1 on the vertical. So that means 3 went away. So when 3 goes away, our backside safety now is going to look for something coming back across the field. If nothing comes across, then he can fox the post. So he's going to 3 right now. He made a commitment that he's not going to rob no post. 3 goes to the out. He sees 2 go with him. And so right now he's driving on it. There he goes. He's driving. Okay. We have our nickel back, which is here. He's an area 1 guy. So he should be under number 2 to the out. Nickel guys under 2 to the out. 2 goes to the wheel. Our play side safety now declares that a vertical. Okay, we have 1 on the vertical. So that means our corner is going to take all of 1, right? He's playing mod coverage. That means he's man on anything deep and outside. So right now, number 1 pushes in vertical. So that means that corner is gone. Okay, now 2 pushes out to the wheel. That now tells that play side safety he's responsible for number 2 vertical, whoever number 2 becomes. So as you see, 2 goes to the out. He does a great job of driving the out and seeing the wheel. So he recognizes the wheel, stays on top. He takes the wheel. The corner takes the deep hitch, and then the backside safety and the area 1 guy takes number 3 to the flat. So you got the backside safety and the area 1 guy, which is a nickel, would take 3 to the flat right here. The nickel will not carry the wheel because we have a safety that takes all of vertical 2. So now we're in perfect position right here. Now to the backside again, we have our mic. Our wheel. Our wheel's pre-snap read is, do I have back to my side, yes or no? If he had back to his side, then he would work slant to the first back. Since back is away, then he could actually be underneath 1, which he does a pretty damn good job of doing that right here. Boom. So he takes the dig array. He takes the first window away from 1. Then it allows our corner to play on the top side of the shoulder. So now we can squeeze this. So now so if you notice, we got our wheel under 1 here, our play side corner working to the top side shoulder right there. And we get an incomplete pass. So our corner does a good job here, or our play side safety does a good job here of what we call pinch, squeeze, cut him off. So we pinched him, we squeeze him, we're cutting him off right here. He's right there, probably a yard away from the sideline, meaning the ball has to be a perfect ball. And if it's anything other than a perfect ball, then the results is exactly what you see, an incomplete pass. So that's a great clip to see one of our push 3x1s. Let me go to another one. Okay, here it is again. Okay, push again. Okay, we're right here. Now we're in more of a pistol look. So it's a 10 personnel pistol 3x1. Okay, our backside corner here. He's playing a little bit more tight coverage. We're probably playing a soft press where we're going to motor mirror this guy. Usually when we play soft press, guys, we play it about 2.5 yards off. That's kind of the technical definition of soft press. If we're going to play a hard press, and we're going to go 2-to-1-to-none with our hard press. But our backside corner is going to play a catch technique. Backside safety still king number 3 here. Okay, our nickel is going to be in between 2 and 3. Here's our mic. Our mic's a little bit wider just because we're probably pressuring somebody right here. And then we got our play side safety inside of 2. Okay, coverages. The rules don't change. We do a good job. We like to disguise a lot. So once again, okay, we're in mod coverage here. Okay, so we got 1 looking to push vertical. Okay, so they probably check this. Our corners probably check this right here to what we call trap. So what we call trap is now what we do now is the corner. Okay, the corner's going to squeeze 2, just like he did right there. So they probably call it trap squeeze, meaning that now they're going to invert our rules. So now the corner's going to take all of 2, and now the safety is going to flash his eyes of 1 and carry 1 vertical now. So that's a call that we get, that we let them make, an adjustment that we allow them to make if they feel comfortable, especially our veteran guys. So they call this trap. Corner flies up on 1. Safety now goes to 2. And they try to hit 3 right there in a little seam. Now, the good thing about this, if you see, Coach, we have our area 3 guy, which is our mic right there. He's our hook guy, right? He's our hook guy. He's going to wall 3 off. He's going to be in that first side window of that dig. This guy hooks up. So we got our nickel kind of slip right here, he's an All-American guy. So we got 2 guys squeezing this number 3 to the stop right here. And he drops the ball. So it works out great for us, okay? I'll show you one more clip of it. Here's another one. Push, 3x1, still pistol. This is Laney College out of Oakland, California. Still playing Rambo here to the play side. Okay, we're playing backside man. Backside safety's here. Play side safety's here. Here's your nickel. Here's our Mike. Here's our Will. So we're okay with this pass. If they want to throw a 5-yard stop route to the backside one, we're perfectly okay with this. We have a philosophy that those plays don't win the game. A catch doesn't win the game. Big plays win the game. So if they want to go for a 5-yard catch, we're okay with that, guys. As long as we come up, we rally, we make a secured open field tackle like we do right now, and that we're getting 11 guys to the ball. One thing you'll see in a lot of red jerseys flying to the ball almost every single play. We're really big on getting 11 guys to the ball. We preach that. We practice that. We echo that. We talk about it in the film room. Our head coach talks about it every single day. We got to be masters of getting 11 guys to the ball every single play. So we do a pretty decent job of that. So we're okay with letting them have that 5-yard stop route. We'll get back after it. It's about a 5-yard. They probably give them a 6-yard gain. So now we'll be in a 2nd and 6, 2nd and 4, 2nd and 5 situation. And we're okay with that, guys. We're perfectly okay with that. What we don't want to give up is a big play. I'll go to one more clip on this push coverage. Same thing here. Play side corners, playing off still. We got our nickel apex in the 2 and the 3. Play side safety is inside of number 2. Backside safety is going to key all the 3. Our backside corners playing off. I would probably like him to play catch technique and put his heels right about the sticks, because more likely they're probably going to run a 5-yard out right here by 1 and work the sticks. So, I would like to, I probably had told him, my coaching point there to my corner was probably catch this right here, play the sticks, know the down and distance, know the situation, and play catch technique, because they did exactly what I thought they would do and just work the sticks. And so that's what the offensive coordinator is trying to do, work that stick. Thank God for us. I think this ball was tipped. Ball's tip, a tip ball. Yard short. So now we're in a 3rd and 1 situation, guys. So right now, this is playing right exactly to how we want this drive to play. We get in a 3rd down situation. Now we could bring some pressure, or now we could do some line games up front, based off what our scouting report tells us, and all the numbers tell us what they'll probably be doing in a 3rd and 1 situation on the 35 going out. And so all that information that we input, it'll tell us what call to make coming after this 3rd down. So I'll show you guys one more clip of this push coverage, and then we'll get into what our complementary coverage is from push. So we always have other coverages that complement our coverages. So here we go. Again, same thing. Corners, disguising it a little bit. We always tell our corners, never show the same look twice. So if the offense lines up in a 3-by-1, and then they go and check with me to the sideline, if we were showing press the first time, we're probably going to get out of there, maybe bail, maybe show the press and then set off at off-man stance. But we would definitely not show the same look twice. So same thing. Backside corners press, but he's going to get off. Backside safety still going to key 3. Play side safety still inside of number 2, 2-to-1 reader. Same thing for the corner here. So as you see right here, coach, this is a great example of what we call Rambo coverage. If you watch the play side corner, he's going to zone number 1 off. You'll see number 1 go inside right now. He will not chase that. He'll zone it off, and he'll look for some more work coming back his side. So there goes 1 going inside. What I would like for number 20 right now, the play side corner, to do is immediately get depth, and try to get underneath this vertical as much as he could. He does, but not too much. I would like a little bit better job of that, but doesn't do too bad of a job. Our play side safety does a good job. He almost takes this false step right here if you see it. That right there can get him in trouble. That movement can get him in trouble. Thank God he does a pretty good job of recovering and working to the top shoulder and makes the play on that ball. Okay, good job. I'm not sure what the referees called right there. It looked like a pretty clean play to me. but he's in a great position right here to play. He's squeezed the top shoulder, pinned the hip. Now he's going to, with his inside arm, he's going to try to rip the ball and to put his body in between the receiver and the quarterback. And I think he does a great job right there. He might have got called with the hand on the back. I'm not sure. Okay. Now let's go back now to the play side. Let's go to the backside receiver here. Backside receiver looking at 3. Now he sees 3 right here, number 13 on the dig. You'll see him drop off of number 1 and now drive on that dig. Okay, now so what ends up happening is now we have a backer underneath this dig, right? He's an area 2 guy. And then we have our backside safety squeezing the number 3. So now we have 2 over number 3, which is a great scenario to be in right here. So now we have our backer under here, and we have our play side safety driving on top of here. I mean, there's nothing open here. Everything's locked. We have this guy coming here, and our corner's going to drive on that right there. Okay, so let me get out of here. Go to stop sharing. Okay, so now that was push coverage right there, coach. So now I'm going to give you a complementary coverage to push coverage versus 3-by-1. You know, a lot of teams, especially in college, they're like, okay, every time we get into a 3-by-1 set, if we can get this team to check into this coverage, then and we know that they're going to get into this coverage, then they can start doing some things to manipulate that coverage. And so we always like to keep the offensive guys guessing. And so one complementary coverage that we run to push coverage, which looks exactly the same, is what we call stick. Okay, we run stick. Okay, so what stick is this right here. So we'll get into stick coverage, which is a great 3-by-1 coverage. A lot of times you can come out with some really, really big plays like this. And you also can get an extra defender very easily into your coverage. Very easily get an extra defender. So what we want to do here is we're going to go tail back away. So regular 10 personnel. Okay, we'll go 10P, 3-by-1. Okay, with the tailback away. Now we'll line up here. Corner's going to be pressed up. Okay, backside safety still there. Play side safety still inside of 3. Okay. Corner's going to be pressed up. Nickel's here. Mike's still in the 55. Will's still in the 53. Okay, so we try to keep those things relatively the same all the time. We don't want to have to change. We want our rules to be consistent. We don't want our guys having to think too damn much. Okay, so now what we're going to call is we're going to call match. So this is match coverage. And within match coverage, we have stick. Okay, so now what match coverage is now, coach, is now we're telling the nickel and the Mike, you're playing match on 2 and 3. Okay, so what is match coverage? All we're doing is just a combo coverage. Okay, so if 2 were to go inside, the Mike would take that. And then now the nickel's eyes go to 3. Where the hell is 3 at? Okay, if 3 were to go in the out, the nickel will be underneath that. Okay, if 2 were to go in the out, the nickel would take 2 to the out, then 3 would drive on, Mike would drive on 3. So that's match concept. Any variation, any kind of crossing routes, all we're going to do is I know that inside out that we'll exchange those coverages right there with that. Okay, so now for our play side safety, he is a vertical player. Okay, he's going to get vertical and get deep. Okay, we want him to get what we call a vertical paddle. That means his start is very important. His start is into a speed paddle, getting depth. We want him at about 20 yards in depth on this right, on the snap of the ball. He should be working deep. On film, we should be able to see him getting deep at about 20 yards in depth. Okay. Now, what we tell our safety is we want him to help the Mike backer out. Okay. For example, if we get 3 verticals here. Okay, we get 3 verticals here. Okay, our Mike is now, he's responsible for number 3. But he knows that he don't have to take number 3 vertical because the safety's over the top of Mike. So if we get 3 to the vertical, we want Mike to wall that vertical off, but knows that he doesn't have to run with 3 to the vertical. Why? Because the play side safety is going to take that. Okay, we want him to help out the Mike. So if we get a vertical push by number 3, okay, he's going to take all of number 3 vertical. Okay, that means now the nickel, who is a defensive back, we expect them to be able to play this. So now if we get number 2 to the vertical, okay, now that nickel will now take 2 to the vert. So corner would take 1 to the vert, nickel would take 2 to the vert, okay, and the play side safety would take 3 to the vert, okay, and then we'll help out the Mike. Now, this is where the stick coverage comes in, okay? Now, right now, okay, when we yell, it's automatically built into our rules. So when we say match, and we see the back, we got the back into the boundary. Okay, back is into the boundary, match call. Right now, our will, our strong safety, and our backside corner is all going to start yelling stick, 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 stick. What stick tells us is now the corner has all of number 2, which in this scenario is a tailback. And now it tells the safety, I have all of number 1 everywhere. So he's playing MOE. MOE, okay? That's MOE coverage, Mo coverage. That means man on everything of 1, okay? So now what happens now is, now the will now becomes a QB spy. So it's really good when the offense adds an extra guy into the scheme with a mobile quarterback, a quarterback who likes to run a lot. When you get a running quarterback, that's one more guy that the offense has that we have to account for. So when we run this coverage right here, Coach, it's great to run with push. Very good to run with push because everything looks the same except we're completely switching the coverage up to the backside. So now if they want to release the back in any form or fashion, our corner is going to take that back. We're going to press all of number 1. We're going to be aggressive right here with number 1, okay, because we know we got the back if the back releases out. And we know that if number 1 goes vertical, we don't care because we know our strong side safety has all of number 1, period, point blank, okay? Now, if this tailback were to pass pro, okay, now what the corner now does, Coach, is now he could be in the trail mode. So we could play aggressively here on the release, and now we could get in and under the number 1 guy, okay? Safety still has all of number 1, okay? Now we're just going to trail number 1. We're going to be underneath that guy, so any out routes, any stop routes, any short routes, our corner has the ability to jump those routes. He can gamble a little bit. He could take a chance in that scenario, and he doesn't have to worry about getting beat over the top. Why? Because this safety will be there. He knows he really has all of number 1. So what that does for us now, coaches, now that puts us in a 2-to-1 scenario. We have 2 defensive backs over 1 receiver in the case that the back stays in the pass pro, okay? If the back goes out, then we have that corner to jump that route, okay? And then we have the safety over the top. Everything to the front side is just a match coverage combo. That's all it is. We're just going to play match coverage. We're going to combo. Some people call it banjo. Some people call it, I've heard it call it I&O. I've heard them call it mixed coverage, match coverage, however you want to call it. All we're going to be doing is comboing the number 2 and number 3 with the nickel and the Mike with safety help over the top. And so what I'll do now, Coach, is I'll get into some film, and then we can go and watch this coverage really quick, like. Okay, this is for the empty. I don't want an empty set. Let me get you a 3x1 set. We do run stick versus empty too. Okay, here we go. All right, here we go, Coach. All right, so 3x1 set, Coach. Guess this is against San Francisco. Back is to the, they act. Back is to the boundary. Okay. And then we have number 1 tight to the split right here. So right now, this the split of number 1, number 3 right here. Okay, number 1 receiver. Him being tight like that actually helps the coverage out a lot. Okay, so a lot of times what we'll do, coach, is we'll give a cowboy call instead of our stick coverage. And if we see the running back pass pro away, our corner now is going to go on. He's going to be a pressure guy. He's going to go on a cornerback blitz. And so there's times where we'll go, this is an under defense. So we'll go under, match, check. And so when they come out in 3-by-1, right now, all these guys are yelling stick, 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 stick. Okay. And if this running back were to pass pro away, okay, this corner now has the option to blitz. He has the option to pressure and run cowboy. Okay. So this is how it looks. This is stick coverage right here. Backside safety knows he has all of this guy right here. Okay. And now the corner knows that if this back releases, I got all of the back. So back releases. So this is great. One goes inside right now. He pushes to our Mike backer. Okay. To our wheel backer right here. This is our wheel backer. Eyes go to here. These guys know that they're running stick. Stick tells his wheel. If he gets inside right now, I'm going to step to the inside route. Now, my eyes here can now zone off to the backside of trips. There it goes. Okay, back releases. Corner's going to take this back. Now the wheel backer sees the number 1 under him, so he'll drive on that. Now the backside safety eyes now can go backside here and try to rob a route here, okay? Good coverage. Nice freaking catch. But great coverage, though. Quarterback gets out. Kind of loose contained right here. Steps up. The initial coverage is great. If you look at it, everyone's covered. They don't have any guy open here initially. Now our safety has to do a better job of closing this gap right here. He got to get to this top shoulder and not give this guy any kind of room at all to make a play like the way he made. This guy actually is a really good receiver here. Big time guy. So he makes a big time catch. Puts San Francisco in a great position on the goal line. Looks like they gave it to him. So lesson in this one is we can't lose contain on this type of quarterback right here. Look like we got messed up here. And if our corner is going to trigger, he needs to trigger a little bit earlier. Let me give you one more stick coverage here so you can see it. Stick again. Backs to the boundary. We got 3-by-1 to the field. Okay, everything's the same. Looks just like push coverage, coach. From the offensive coordinator's perspective, really, it's not even from the offensive coordinator's perspective. It's really from this quarterback's perspective. We're not coaching against the offensive coordinator. We're coaching against this guy right here, this quarterback. So we're trying to make everything look fuzzy and confusing for this 19-year-old quarterback that we're going against, not the offensive coordinator here. So we're just trying to make things difficult for him to see here. And so here we go. Stick coverage. Everything looks good. One goes to the out. Okay, so now what does the back does? The back stays in pass pro. He pass pros. So right now, that corner knows that I can play underneath one. Okay, so you can see the play side safety already moving to the top. Corner knows backs away. Now I can play this aggressively. No play there. Okay, we had a little stunt going up in front, what we call egg. Okay, we got an end wrapping around. Play side coverage looks great. So you can see 2 goes to the out. Nickel takes that. 3 stays here. Mike kind of stays with 3. And you see the safety staying on the top with Mike. So he'll never leave the Mike alone. So Mike got 3. Nickel got 2. Corner's playing Rambo technique. He got 1 to the out. Backside safety's looking for 1 on the vertical. Everybody's covered. We get the quarterback to throw the ball out of bounds. Okay, perfect. This is a perfect scenario. Even if the back were to release, if he did, now the corner would take that back out. Pretty good job there. Pretty good deal. I'll show you one more clip of it, coach. Stick coverage again. Running backs to the boundary. Okay. Corners, backside safety, play side safety, play side corner. Here's our nickel. There it goes. So what did the back do? Back went on the vertical. Okay. Went on the vertical. They might have thought that, the wheel was going to cover the back. A lot of teams make that wheel cover the back. We do too at times in our push coverage. So they're thinking we're in push. They're thinking, okay, we can send this back on a vertical, match him up with that wheel linebacker, and make that wheel linebacker run with a very, very fast running back. And that wasn't the scenario or the case in this coverage call. So now they released the back on a vertical. Corner has that right there all the way. You see the play side safety get to number 1. Corner takes the back. Okay, free safety now is just being a guy. He's working over the top. So we're in a 2-to-1 scenario here. Bad throw. Quarterback didn't really want to throw that ball, as you can see. He's seen that backside safety starting to push. Why did that backside safety push for? Because we have 3 going inside right now, and we have 2 going inside with the nickel. So that frees this guy up to be an MOF, middle of the field player. So it's another great scenario we want to be in, coach. So that's why this stick coverage works really good with push coverage, coach. Guys start to see you pushing that backside safety over the 3. A lot of guys want to run 3 away from the backside safety. And so what they end up doing now is like, okay, let's see if we can get this wheel backer on our back. And if you do, then that can, very easily be a wheel backer running with that running back. In this particular scenario, we call stick, and now that puts that cornerback running on that back, which is a person that we would much rather have running with that running back than our linebacker. There. All right, coach. And so what I'll do is I'll give you one more coverage, coach. I won't show you no clips on this one, but I'll give you one more coverage that's great to go with 3-by-1. And this is very good against inside zone teams. If you're going against a big inside zone team, and you want to push some guys to that front side, and you want to just take away that backside cut right now from the running back, I'm going to show you one quick coverage that you could take down. You can share this with everybody. A lot of guys know it. They run this a lot, especially out of men in tight fronts. This came off of the Dave Aranda playbook. We inherited a lot. Coach Aranda is a good friend of mine. And so a lot of his concepts that he does, we do as well, but just with our own twist to it. Okay, so but I'll get into it right now. Most people know this as special. Here at Fresno City College, we call this China. So we check China in this, and we do this a lot with big zone teams. And it's great if you want to get an extra guy free, and so you can bring some extra hats to the hat party here. So we're talking about 3-by-1 coverage today. Okay. You got a corner here. Okay, we got your strong safety here. We got your wheel here in the 53. We got your mic right there in the 55. We got your play side safety here. We got your nickel in between 2 and the 3. Corners playing off for this scenario right here. So now, great coverage that complements not only stick and push coverage. Okay, you've been running stick, you've been running push, or maybe you ran a whole lot of stick the week before, and you want to get away from the stick coverage a little bit, and so you want to throw something at them that they may haven't seen in the last week or two. This is a great coverage to go ahead and do that with. And what we do is, most people know this as special. Okay, we call this China. For us, it's called China. You can call it whatever the hell you want to call it. It really doesn't matter, to be honest with you. So, but the basics of this is really, really good. A lot of RPO teams, a lot of inside zone teams. What you want to do is you want to take guys out of conflict, and I'm going to show you how to do that right now. Okay, so really quick here. What we got in special here is corner is going to be pressed up on number 1. Inside leverage, 2-to-1 to none technique, not a soft press. We're not going to motor mirror this. We're going to be right on the line of scrimmage. We're going to play a hard press, which we go to our 2-to-1 to none technique. Okay, now what we do now is our safety is going to be inside leverage of number 3. Okay. Our nickel will be head up on number 2. Okay. And so now what we're doing now is we're going to run match concept with 2 and the 3, and it's free safety in the nickel. The same way we ran match concept with the nickel and the mic. Okay. Now we're going to take the mic out of a conflict and we're going to match it with the nickel and the safety. Okay. Still the same rules. If 3 goes to the out, the nickel would drive. Safety will work over the top of number 2. If 2 were to go inside, okay, Mike will step to that inside route. Nick will now squeeze 3 to the seam, and safety will be over the top on the vertical of 3. Okay, those are 2 different scenarios on route combination and how we'll defend that right there. Okay, now same thing goes for bubble concepts. Okay, if number 3 wants to run the bubble and 2 to the slant, okay, we'll work inside the slant to the bubble. And the reason why we do that is a bubble is a negative play. It's still behind the line of scrimmage, so he has to gain so many yards just to get back to the LOS. And so what we don't want to do is just give a free slant throw away in that window right there. So we want to take that slant away and then work over the top on that bubble. So any kind of RPOs where the bubble slant combination or they want to throw the green grass, we'll have that all accounted for, and we won't have to worry about that. Okay. Now to the backside. Our backside safety, okay, is going to give our wheel backer a gone call. Okay, he's going to tell the backer, gone, 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 gone. What that tells the mic and the wheel is now the wheel can +1 and the mic can +1. So now they're +1 over to the field. Okay, why? Because now this backside safety now is a backside A gap defender. Okay, he is now responsible for the backside A gap. Okay, what was the wheel backer's gap? Now we took it away from the wheel backer and we said, you're a free guy now. We want you to read the mesh. We want 2 guys in this B gap here. Bam, bam. And now this mic backer can actually 2 gap it. So he could be B to C. He could be a B to C guy. Because now he knows that Will Backer's pushing. He's going to +1 over to him. And he's going to help out with this front side B gap now. Okay. Backside defender. We got a 3 technique over here. So now we know that backside strong safety is now that A gap defender. So now when they run zone and they want to hit it, we got a guy right there. And there's even times where we'll give that guy an automatic fire call. So with that fire call tells us backside safety, now he's coming and he's going right now. He's blitzing. He's going to go and he's going to blitz. Why can't he do that? Well, he has help on his outside. Where's his help on his outside? This 3 technique right here. Does that make sense, Coach? So now, backside corner, as you can see, backside corner, you're all of 1. Okay, we want to press that guy up. Inside leverage, take something away. Don't give him a 2-way go. Preferably, we want to see this vertical route here. Okay, we go back into PSC mode. Pinch, squeeze, cut him off. We want to pinch him to the sideline. Cut off for us means we're going to stack him. So we're going to pinch. We're going to squeeze him to the sideline. Cut off means we're going to stack the receiver now. We want to stack the receiver now. And if we're going against a team who likes to throw that back shoulder throw, then we'll play this stack mode a little bit differently. And that's just a week-to-week game planning thing. So not everybody throws a lot of back shoulder throws. But if we were to come to a team that did that, then we would probably change our rules and coach that just a little bit differently throughout that week. But that's the premises of the rules. So we have special. Okay, so what I did is I gave you guys 3 coverages that you could play versus trips at any given point and any given time. You could switch those scenarios up in between series. For example, what we do this all the time, Coach, is we in between series, Coach, we'll give a call and we'll tell them, okay, this time, Coach, our 2x2 check is going to be black. Our 3x1 check is going to be China. And so now the guys know in this series, when they come out in 2x2 10P, we're checking black. If they motion 2 trips or if they come out in a set trips form, they know we're checking China. And then so on and so on. So one series, it could be a push call. The following series, it could be, well, hey, this series we're going to play stick to 3x1. The third series, we could play China 3x1. So there's three coverages that we could play the 3x1. All look very similar in structure, have totally different rules, and guys are responsible for different guys in every coverage. But to a 19-year-old, 20-year-old quarterback, it all looks the same. It all looks fuzzy. I still see a too high structure. I'm still seeing press corners. I'm thinking maybe man, maybe bell. So like I said, we're never coaching against an offensive coordinator. We're coaching against these 18, 19, and 20-year-old quarterbacks. Can't hear you, Coach. I think your mic's locked. There you go.
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry. Yeah, that was awesome. Like, I was 50 minutes of lock and loaded, just coverages, and let's get it. I loved it. I have notes sitting here, and I recorded the darn thing. I have all those notes sitting here, writing them down, and diagrams like that. That was awesome. I appreciate that, Coach.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's always great to talk a little bit of ball, man. Us as coaches, once we get going, we can go through some minutes talking some ball, man. But these are great coverages to run. We're one of the better secondaries in the country as far as junior college goes versus the past. We're right up there in the top 10 year in and year out. We don't change our coverages for nothing and for nobody. We don't care if they know what we're running. At the end of the day, it's not about the X's and O's, but it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. So we're going to do what we do, and we're going to let our players play the way they play.
No doubt. Well, Coach, he coaches on Twitter. Because you want to give you any information you want everybody to know, they hit you up, maybe talking about some coverages and stuff like that with you.
Yeah, man. So, Coach Fred, Fresno City College corners coach. My Twitter handle is @CoachFred1. That's @CoachFred1, the number 1. You could DM me, guys. You guys could get a hold of me. My cell phone number is 559-513-2440. I'm out here in Fresno, California. If anybody ever wants to talk ball, if you guys ever need some help or some fresh ideas, Coach, we're always around to we're always here to do this, man. So the more we can learn together as a community, hey, the better we're all off.
No doubt. I appreciate you, Coach.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah.